What up, guys? Welcome back to another chill session. Saturday evening, approximately 9:30 p.m. Winding down a Saturday evening after a long day of just hanging out with the family and doing basic chores. And I thought I'll jump into Earth2 just to see what's happening. It's been a while since I logged into Earth2. Shout out to Matt White. He raised it and I thought, I might as well just make a relaxing kickback video, chill video, looking at what's happening in the Earth2. There has been some updates. There has been a developer vlog that I haven't watched yet, and today we'll go ahead and watch that. First off, shout out to Pure. Pure is providing the beats for tonight. Chill gaming mix lo-fi, 1 hour royalty-free music. Hopefully I don't get a copyright claim for this because it's meant to be royalty-free music. So shout out to Pure. So let's see. So for those that don't know, my channel was built on Earth2 content. Originally that's what we were going for, just to kind of cover Earth2, but along the way NFTs happened. Earth2 slowed down, that happened, and yeah, so a few things happened here and there that made me kind of switch over. But here we are. Let's log into my account here. So we're gonna need the two-factor authentication. Let's chuck that in, and bam, we are in. So if you value your account, two-factor authentication is the way to go. All right. I don't even know where I am now, but let's just go to Sydney, New South Wales. Bang, and here we are. All tiles bought. Currently, what is a tile worth in Australia at the moment? Per tile, $13 for Australia. So there you go. So for those that are new to the concept of Earth2, it's claiming to be the next metaverse. They're hoping to, in the future, build out this virtual world, virtual land that's a representative of a one-to-one scale of the current Earth. They're calling it Earth2, obviously. And within Earth2, so far it seems to be touted as a game, an eco-sim, economic simulator. But the future vision of Earth2, and what a lot of people are trying to bank on, is the fact that digital land is going to be scarce. Like, I think there's only, I don't know, a couple of trillion tiles on Earth2, so there is a finite amount. And they're hoping that it will be the next big thing, whether it will be a hub for gaming, whether it will be a hub for shopping, whether it will be a hub for, social interactions. People have their own ideas of what Earth2 can be, will be. And yeah, so a lot of tiles have been sold. I think over 1 million tiles have been sold. But what you essentially do is you have tiles, you click on this little round thing, claim my essence. Your mentor has detected 198 ether. Okay, we're supposed to transform this ether into essence, hopefully. No? Okay, here we go. 109 ether can be transformed into essence. Okay, let's transform. I gained 13.29 essence. Now, the savvy people will know that you would go to resources, collect your gems or your jewels, and with your jewels you could craft stuff. Craft different quality jewels, and then you slot them into your land. I slotted a few sunset jewels here and there, but yeah, like I said, I haven't been like up to date with everything. But for those that are wondering, will there be cryptocurrency? Because we know a lot of digital land is incorporating some form of cryptocurrency. Excuse me while I blow my nose. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, they've partnered up with, I think, Polygon Matic, and they'll be releasing their cryptocurrency on the Polygon blockchain, which is, I believe, a layer 2 on Ethereum. And their crypto is Essence. Oh, why did it log me out? Log me back in. Hopefully it doesn't make me... Okay, so I'm still back in. Fantastic. So, if you believe the hype, portfolio is currently sitting at $2,154, equal to that market value. That's if you can sell it or your land for the market value, which you won't. But I've probably put in about 200, close to maybe 300 Australian dollars into this. So not too bad investment if that is indeed the return. But yeah, let's not get too excited. So yeah, let's take a look at some news to see what's happening. The reason why I fell out of Earth2 is because, yes, I will admit that I am impatient. Okay, I'll admit that. I've been very impatient, and I just, you know, when it first started, when the project first started, there was a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, a lot of people making videos, buy this strategy, that strategy, a lot of speculation, and that was the fun part, right? The speculation was a lot of people said, oh, why all these YouTubers just speculating and hyping it up and, you know, saying this will happen, expect this, expect that. Well, that was kind of the fun part. That's what kind of drove a lot of interaction, drove a lot of the hype, because people were speculating, rightly or wrongly. But once the speculation died down and Earth2 came out with, you know, various, you know, updates, and it was slow going, and not only was it slow going, I think a lot of FUD came out with the other people calling it a scam, Ponzi scheme, and all that stuff as well, and I think there still are. But a lot of that kind of fizzled away when delays happen, when Shane, the CEO of Earth2, would say, expect this during this time, and that never came. And that kind of just put fuel to the fire when it came to the doubters and the haters and the naysayers. And that kind of killed the buzz a little bit. But let's just see this June 9th. This is a bit old, but like I said, this is a relaxed, chilled session where I'm just catching up on anything. And did I say already? I'm not sure if I already said thank you to Pure providing the beats tonight. So let's see, June 9th, 2022. On the 2nd of June 22, Earth2 officially sold its 100 millionth tile. This works out to be an average of over 1 million tiles per week. There are some very powerful figures as the Essence token launches edges closer in Q3 2022. So I didn't know that, but now I know, and you guys know, that Essence is the token that will be the in-game currency, and what it will be used for, we don't know yet. Whether it will be used for upgrading tiles, cities, tech. We don't know how the Essence token will be used in-game, but no doubt it will drive the gameplay. So Q3 2022, expect it to launch. This is a monumental achievement for Earth2. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that we would be sitting in this position only a year and a half after launching. Wow, that's pretty cool. I honestly believe that it would have taken 18 months before seeing any traction, let alone acquire the success that we have. I'm truly humbled by the incredible amount of support our project has received, said Shane Isaac, CEO and founder of Earth2. Whether you agree or disagree with Earth2's goals and ambitions, you cannot argue with Earth2's success. Our success to date provides us with unique opportunity to build something that is not influenced by corporate money. Shane went on to say that we enjoy a very strong community who share our vision and want to be part of the journey each step of the way. Although our journey will be long, our goal is to make it as interesting and as engaging as possible for our community. As we gradually build toward bigger things, we're particularly excited about releases we have planned over the next 12 months, which will really start to shape Earth2, and we'll hopefully start to see the patience and hard work that takes place in the background become apparent. Earth2 had previously anticipated reaching 100 million tile sales in late July 22 and was planning a special release for early August to celebrate. This was to coincide with a marketing awareness campaign planned in conjunction with much anticipated launch of Earth2's Essence token. So we're ahead of the game, and again, August launch of the Essence token. Now, with the current bear market and everything happening, one has argued whether it's a good time to be launching a token during this time, but you never know. You launch and it might be, you know, pennies in a sense, but then you hold it and it only needs to go up a little bit and you can make decent coin. Okay, but in the same token, excuse the pun, When a token is that minute in market cap, like pump and dumps are so easy to kind of trigger. So be mindful of that. This special moment will not, however, be put aside completely. In recognition of this great milestone, there will be a reward for the lucky player who purchased the 100 millionth tile, and the player's username along with the prize will be confirmed in our next announcement. Okay, wow, that's cool. Let's check out Shane's personal Twitter account. So Iron Ore heat map is live. Country countdowns and mentors. Earth2 will trial a short countdown on the next country release. So there, back in the day, there was a big hoo-ha, big drama about, I think one of the first country releases was Dubai. I made a video just mocking it. But Dubai was a bit of a shit show, to be honest with you. It didn't go anywhere fast. And the egg hunt update. So the first egg hunt was meant to be an NFT egg hunt. So they kind of scattered a few Easter eggs in various videos, and those that picked it out got essence, I think it was. They got some money, and also they would get an NFT of the egg. And people have waited patiently a long time to see that. And I think it's finally come. I'm not too sure. But Shane Isaac, this is his, got 9,500 followers. Thank you, Earth2 community, for feedback on resource validations after stage 2 deployment. White paper delay, message for hollow builders, drone community, and more. Okay. Let's watch this. Tile sizes and more ecosim details. Okay, let's watch these videos because I technically haven't watched these videos. Alright, I might have to see where this takes us. I might have to wind down the background music. Alright, let's chill.
Players and community. Welcome to vlog number 7, where we'll be introducing visuals and details about 2 new ecosim buildings, the petrol processor and the gold polymerizer. We'll also share further details about our phase 2 ecosim. You're now viewing the petrol processor. It's a layer 2 building which belongs to and marks the beginning of the coatings technology branch. The blueprint for the petrol processor will become available for research via the research lab, but has a few requirements that need to be met before this option becomes available. The first requirement is that Layer 2 of the ecosim has been officially released by Earth2. The second requirement is the research lab has been successfully upgraded to Layer 2 on that specific property.
Okay.
The third requirement is that the player has successfully constructed the lignator, the petrifier, and the water processor, and
so there's a tech tree. Okay, we've learned by now there's a tech tree. You need to have created the water purifier, the lignator, and upgraded to level 3 at least.
These 3 ecosim buildings do not need to exist on the same property, but at least one of each must exist across any other properties owned by that player.
Oh, okay. That's good. So some people only have 1 tile, some people have a few tiles, but essentially you only need a water purifier. You can have a water purifier in America, and then you can have a lignator in China, and then you can have this blueprint, whatever it is, in Australia. So as long as it's on the same account, same player, you can unlock things, which is good.
At any other location around the world. Here you're viewing the gold polymerizer, which is also a layer 2 building. The gold polymerizer belongs to, and marks the beginning of, the metallurgic chemistry branch. The blueprint for the gold polymerizer will become available for research via the research lab. But as with the petrol processor, it also has a few requirements that need to be met before this option becomes available. The first requirement is that Layer 2 of the ecosim has been officially released by Earth2. The second requirement is the research lab has been successfully upgraded to Layer 2 on that specific property.
Okay.
The third requirement is that the player has successfully constructed the water processor and it remains in an active.
It's tech tree. We understand how it all works.
Any other location around the world. Should a player deconstruct or sell a property unrestricted at any other location around the world, constructed the water processor, but must exist at least once across any other properties owned by that player, unrestricted, at any other location around the world.
Okay, I get it.
Should a player deconstruct or sell a property with an ecosim building
this residential
that was technically supporting another ecosim building, All buildings supported by the now non-existing EcoSim building will cease to operate
That
until
looks
the player
cool.
rebuilds
Like whilst the colors are fine, this is very futuristic. This kind of theme right here. So I wonder how it would match. Like I made this comment before, but how would it match for those megacities that have like a medieval theme or a historical theme of some sort, or a Japanese, Bushido era kind of theme. So like this is all cool, futuristic, but how would it fit with everything else?
missing technology link. Once the blueprint for the petrol processor or the gold polymerizer has been researched, each respective building will follow the standard process of construction, being placed as a hollow building, after which time the player will be able to command their construction droids to commence construction.
Once you get a blueprint, it will become a hollow building. Then you need to do construction droids to then start building it.
In order for the construction droids to begin, they must have direct access to the relevant building blocks and materials required for each relevant building.
Okay.
For the petrol
Sure.
processor, this will mean construction wood, concrete, rolled steel, industrial water, and
Okay, so there's going to be a big trading marketplace for raw resources, and as you can see here, there's 2 water purifiers, a lignator, and these new whatever here.
oil. The petrol processor will be able to produce lacquers, coatings, and paint, including self-luminous paint, by using wood, limestone, industrial water, and refined oil. For the gold polymerizer, the construction droids will require construction wood, concrete, rolled steel, industrial water, and gold. Using industrial water,
I'm sure they're gonna like release an FAQ for all this stuff. Like surely, we don't have to scribble all this down. Take notes.
gold. Some EcoSim buildings
I'm more
will be
looking
able
at the
to store a
graphics.
limited amount of produce locally, but once that limit is exceeded, building blocks or raw materials will need to be relocated via transportation to other storage areas.
It's so cool. Hopefully you can
properties,
zoom in this
construction
deep.
sites, or trading.
Like if you can zoom in and kind of just sit back, so like even this is kind of relaxing. If you just sit back and watch those little AIs do whatever it is, it'd be cool if they can have like little AIs that do individual things like SimCity or The Sims. That would be just, your own little world playing God in Earth 2.
Trading hubs. Hollow buildings will provide an expansion of storage space on the property they've been placed on. Customization is very important for Earth 2, and as you can see in the video, each building and vehicle is individually customizable. Players will be able to take advantage of this freedom by editing and saving customizations on buildings, vehicles, and other things they own.
I want to see this customization. Hopefully they release that in the next vlog or whatever. I want to see how the customization works, because right now we only can see color palettes and color schemes.
This freedom of expression will further support things like guild association, neighborhood synchronization, or just simple personal preference, as players have the ability to unify or diversify how their presence is felt by others.
Okay, I really look forward to that. Like we know Dorkslayer, shout out to Dorkslayer. They've got a big following, and no doubt they'd want to, really set a tone for their guild and what their buildings will look like. Knowing Dorkslayer, they would want everyone to follow a specific scheme. Come on.
Well, what we're showcasing in these vlogs are visual representations of how buildings and vehicles will appear in E2v1. Our digital Earth during phase 2.5. There will be a transition period starting with E2v1, reflecting actions from the Earth2 website, which will gradually progress
Looks
to
cool.
more
I
interaction
like it.
and experiences taking
Like, while some people may say they're just Unity assets, I mean, look, for the layman, like all the tech geeks, they're just Unity assets. You can easily buy them, but whatever. Okay, fine, but it doesn't mean that it looks crap. It still looks good.
Directly on E2v1. This will eventually, step by step, move to first-person view and beyond as the
What? You gotta listen to that again. First-person view?
This will eventually, step by step,
so
action and
Earth2v1
experiences taking place directly on E2v1. This will eventually, step by step, move to first-person view and beyond as the development of E2v1 improves and advances over time. It's
key there is being over time, guys. Let's not, be like, by the time Earth 2 implements this stuff, there'll be XYZ. Look, okay, we understand it's going to be a slow burn, it's going to be a slow process. I would be the first one to admit that I'm the most impatient of people. This is why I clocked off Earth 2. But just seeing slow, like little progresses like this, it kind of like triggers the spark again.
Been mentioned that ether is life and that essence is power. Essence will play a key role in powering many things inside of Earth 2, adding incredible utility to such a valuable Earth 2 resource.
Yes.
For example, players will be able to power their mentors with Essence at tweakable rates, which can be adjusted to suit their desired strategy, such as producing better economized raw material replication, or focus more on ether to Essence transformation. In the future, players will also have the ability to stake their essence in very special ways to provide power support for other players, or even...
You can stake your essence in different ways to assist other people as power support. Now, we already know there's some military or there'll be some combat mechanics. I wonder, like, if you stake your essence to, build stuff faster, provide more raw materials. Let's say you have a massive guild and, you want a portion of your guild to just focus on gold production and, have a guild repository. Like, my brain's just ticking here. Again, speculation.
Cities at a mutually agreeable reward, allowing such essence to be utilized for a magnitude of varying purposes. We're excited to release more details around how this will function.
And sorry, I know I keep stopping, but also, like, how much is Essence going to be worth down the track? Once the game gets going and there's going to be a massive guild war with potential big rewards, like, Essence is going to be needed, right? And those big guilds may be paying top dollar for more Essence, and it'd be interesting to see what it's trading on the marketplace, the actual crypto marketplace.
Closer to the launch of the Essence token. Thank you for watching another Earth 2 vlog, and please continue to follow us for more details, including our next vlog, which will cover our interbuilding linked road system, the confirmed uniform size of every Earth 2 tile, more ecosim details, and much more.
All right, very exciting. Like that. Like what I saw. All right, let's keep going. So that was Earth 2 Vlog 7, covering 2 new ecosim buildings. Construction materials produce essence is power. So they said, if ether is life, then essence is power. I don't know. I can't remember now. Sorry, I've not posted any candid videos lately. We are all incredibly busy, blah, blah, blah. I'm just so time poor at the moment. But we'll aim to release a video covering an important topic later this week. Have your say. Essence, fraction poles, quarks, fractals, lumens, ions. No idea what that is about. Let's watch this. Earth 2 vlog from our first vlog series. This vlog contains a lot of information. We are heavily focused on ensuring we release the first stage of E2 V1. Let's go. LFG. Let's effing go. All right.
Dear Earth 2 players and community, welcome to vlog number 8, where we'll be sharing visuals and further details related to our terrain rendering shown in real time, including the confirmed uniform size of every Earth 2 tile. Please note that the visuals shown here are works in progress and do not represent final results.
Amazing.
For example, the terrain is only displayed in low detailed view and no close-up detail layers or realistic biomes have been added yet.
Okay, no realistic biomes and not full HD details, and they won't zoom in apparently. Okay,
we're in the Austrian Alps at sunrise. We'll be placing a reference cube in the world which corresponds to the exact size of an Earth 2 land tile.
All right.
The grid lines overlaid on the terrain show how Earth 2 land tiles are located on the map. It's
pretty big.
To note that final close-up artist-authored biomes have not been displayed during today's footage. This is a scenic view of Iceland. Note that Earth 2 land tiles are 19.08 meters on each side, which is the equivalent to the circumference of the Earth divided by the number of tiles around the equator.
Okay. Foul with maths. I have no idea, but okay, I like what I see.
Tiles in Earth 2 are equally sized in our 3D representation of the world, no matter where the tile is located. Now let's
there was some debate to and fro about how the Earth is like, a sphere. Sorry to the flat earthers out there, that towards the center the tiles were smaller or something like that. Yeah, I can't remember, but
Visit
there
the
was some
Krenitsin
hoo-ha.
volcano in Russia. Even though the scale of our world is massive and we're traveling great distances, the rendering is shown in real time with a high frame rate in our editor. In this location, we'll be overlaying.
I imagine they're using pretty powerful computers though. Like that was real time zooming, and nothing was popping, nothing. Obviously, they didn't zoom down to the land, but that scrolling from one side of the Earth to the other was pretty smooth.
Actual Mapbox satellite imagery on top of our terrain system to demonstrate the accuracy of our rendering. Note how closely the 3D rendered lake shoreline matches real-world satellite data. Whether land tiles are located at water level on the equator or on the highest mountain peak at the poles, all land tiles are the same size, since we transform and stretch the world geometry onto a spherical surface, which allows us to be compatible with Mapbox.
If you bought land in Denmark or wherever they're showing here, like, look at that land. It's so rocky. You're going to have to terraform now. I think they said there was going to be an option later on, but like it'd be interesting to see, because it's meant to be a replica of Earth 1, right? It'd be interesting to see how they manage the physics of the world.
Our team is excited to see what players choose to build inside our clean slate, pristine digital version of Earth as E2 V1 progresses over time.
I still want to see different biomes. Like, why is that taking so long? They're just showing everything lush, green, mountainous, forest. I want to see the different biomes.
For the next location, we'll head over to the east coast of the U.S. and visit New York City.
Okay.
You may recognize Ellis Island in New York Harbor.
I don't.
Home to the iconic historical landmark of the Statue of Liberty.
Okay, didn't know that.
As we turn on the Mapbox satellite overlay, you can see again how closely our Earth 2 rendering matches one-to-one with the real world. To cross-check the location, we'll copy the coordinates and then switch over to Google Earth and plug in the same spot.
Yeah.
As you can see, we're looking at Flagpole Plaza on Liberty Island again.
Okay.
Next, we'll copy the coordinates from Google Earth into Earth 2 and locate the same property on the Earth 2 website, corresponding to 4 land tiles.
Okay.
We can now...
Geez, shout out to who got that. That's worth a pretty penny.
Go back to our terrain rendering.
I remember, didn't the Statue of Liberty sell for like $60,000 to the Koreans?
And highlight those same 4 tiles on Earth 2 by placing
Dude. Okay, tile envy right here. Whoever managed to get in early, like day 1 of Earth 2, and bought all these massive landmarks. Good on you, man.
Cubes at that location. Finally, we can toggle the Mapbox overlay off and on, showing the actual Earth 2.
And look, so they said that all man-made construction items will be wiped, and the Ellis Island is literally just a forestry
terrain system underneath. Note how land tiles on the Earth 2 website match up perfectly with Earth 2 rendered terrain and Mapbox.
Okay.
Let's find the nearby Passaic River, which stretches from New York to New Jersey here on the East Coast.
Right.
Even in a densely populated area with high curvature along the shoreline, enabling the Mapbox overlay shows how closely the Earth 2 rendering matches up with real-world data. Although square land tiles don't work especially well from a long-range globe view perspective, they're a perfect fit for the Web Mercator map coordinate system that everybody is familiar with from online map services.
Okay.
Overlays like this will make it very interesting to see what players have decided to build inside Earth 2 when compared back to the same Earth 1 location. We're now rotating the globe to bring Southern California into view. Below, we can see the Sierra Nevada mountain range.
Yep.
We'll zoom down to Mount Langley. This natural mountain peak is an
I love that 3D zooming. It's so smooth.
Excellent location to verify the uniformity of our land tile sizes. We'll place a series...
Again, the physics involved. You're not going to build anything rocky on this. Like,
of 10 reference cubes along the mountain ridge above the terrain. Note how the size and position aligns perfectly to the grid lines. Next, we'll fly over to Mount Rainier using a camera speed of 250,000 kilometers per hour and leave the reference cubes behind as markers.
So we're traveling 250 kilometers an hour? Smooth.
Although Earth 2 tile size is often described using a rough measurement of 10 by 10 meters, as stated in this video, the precise size is 19.08 meters on each side.
Look at that smooth travel time.
In for
Warp
a
speed.
View, we see the world stretched in the same way as in Mapbox, but spherified, which means the surface is projected onto a sphere from the top.
All the haters out there, like watching this just reminds me, like when I do Earth 2 videos, I get so many dislikes. But, it is what it is. But just watching this, and then it just makes me, with all the haters, it makes me think of that one guy that put up that video years ago, and he just said, if you don't believe in Bitcoin, fine, whatever, but just take $1, put it into Bitcoin, and just leave it there. And now it's, who knows what it was worth when he told everyone to buy it. Maybe it was worth like $10. But this stuff, and I'm not saying it's the same. It could flop, it could go nowhere, it could die in the ass, right? But at the end of the day, it just reminds me of that guy that said, just put $1 into Bitcoin and see where it goes. Like,
top down.
Put $1, buy a tile.
Designing and building our own system in a similar way allowed us to be fully compatible with what is presented on Mapbox, and in turn, perfectly match player-owned tile locations.
I could see this being a pain. Pain in the ass. This terraforming business. Look, I would just go buying Flatland.
It also means our solution is fully compatible with what is presented by the world's biggest mapping companies and globally accepted and used by millions of people every day. Now we'll leave Mount Rainier and head back to Mount Langley to check on the 10 reference cubes we placed there.
Yep.
One challenge when working with a large-scale data set, which is the size of Earth, is to maintain accurate numerical precision.
Okay.
This can be problematic as floating point numbers grow larger in scale, leaving less space for precision. The resulting loss of data precision can cause many issues, including placing objects in the wrong location. We've addressed this in our terrain system, and as we return to our original location, we see that the cubes we positioned earlier are still correctly located in the exact same spot. We're glad we could share this update with you, and hope the first part of this video has been interesting and informative.
It has been interesting.
Welcome to part 2 of our vlog. We'd like to introduce you to a group of new buildings before displaying our inter-building road system. The first is the Petrifier, a Layer 1 building of the Cements branch. As with most Layer 1 buildings, the Petrifier blueprint can be researched in the research lab as soon as EcoSim buildings are released. Once the blueprint is researched, the player will be able to select an area to place the blueprint as a hollow building, and then
again, see, everything they put is like on flat land. If you bought only in rocky mountain ranges, I'd question how this will work. The good thing is, obviously, you can put these buildings anywhere in any country, in any flat location, and it'll still count as part of the tech tree. So that's good.
Command construction droids to use previously woven and locally transported limestone, sand, and freshwater to build the Petrifier. In its Layer 1 form, the Petrifier has a rectangular footprint spreading across two tiles and has the ability to transform limestone, sand, and fresh water into concrete, the key building block of the Cements branch. Next, we have the Steel Mill, which is the first building in the Steels branch.
All of these look futuristic. All these buildings look so futuristic.
Researched in the research lab, after which time it can be placed as a hollow building and built with construction droids, using previously woven and locally transported iron ore, wood, and industrial water. In its Layer 1 form, the steel mill has a rectangular footprint spread across two tiles and has the ability to transform iron ore, wood, and industrial water into
I hope they make
steel,
an FAQ for
the
this.
core building block of the Steels branch. We will now showcase some residential and commercial building options.
All right.
The first one here being an example of a medium-sized residential building spread across 4 tiles with a particularly sleek-looking hover car.
Why 4 tiles? Smack bang in the middle of 4 tiles.
Being spread across 4 tiles, this house can support small gardens, parking spaces, and more. There will be options to have houses on small tile lots as well. Even buildings like this can provide multiple utility inside of Earth2. For instance, this building could be used to set up a virtual personal space for the owner or occupier, which other players could visit. This same small building could also be tailored to reproduce civilians, such as sycophants, protégés, or votaries, depending on property-affiliated factions. Remember.
Okay. All right. That's, to me, again, it's insinuating that you're going to be able to actually travel into these buildings and interact with these buildings in a proper metaverse.
Remember, we are now using the correct tile size of 19.08 by 19.08 meters, while all previous vlogs have used 10 by 10 meters as the tile size.
Okay.
Players looking for more building space may opt to construct larger residential buildings, which can provide more utility. These larger buildings will be able to support more internal spaces usable by the owner for either personal use, to house faction civilians, or even to lease out to other players. Some buildings will support
Okay. House faction citizens, guild citizens, or lease out. The question is, why would you want to lease this out? See, that's the thing, right? What gameplay mechanics is Earth 2 going to incorporate that would require the need to rent these out?
multi-purpose zones for added utility. These are buildings that can be used not only as personal spaces, to house civilians or lease to players, but also to provide facilities which train or educate civilians and avatars to learn new skills.
Civilians and avatars. So there's going to be NPCs of some sort.
Larger residential buildings will have specialized purposes, making them important for different reasons
They're all
depending on the
futuristic.
player's goals or strategies. As always, each building will be customizable and support the ability to display billboards for advertising or promotion of personally chosen messages.
Again, a lot of us thought that, we could be able to sell advertisement space, and if they're going to have these billboards, again, that's adding that value, especially if they're going to introduce augmented reality on your phone. If people were to go to Ellis Island, visit the Statue of Liberty, and those South Koreans decide to put, a massive ad for, some K-pop band, then that'd be pretty cool. And that's where the value of ad spaces and buildings comes into effect.
A common misconception is that Earth2 will force players to only be able to purchase buildings directly from Earth2, but this is incorrect. We want players to play the ecosim, trade, buy, sell, transport, manage, intercept, and similar activities, which will allow players to acquire key game assets and currencies that will then provide the ability to own and build themselves, all made possible from successfully participating inside of Earth2.
If you hop onto the Earth2 Facebook, the architecture that some amazing people have built using the Holo building editor alone, amazing, absolutely mind-blowing. So many talented people out there. I wish I could give those people a shout out. I just don't remember the names. But some people have made replicas of beautiful real-life landmarks, stadiums, historical buildings, and even just like fantastical stuff out of their own mind. It's just amazing. And to be able to buy those blueprints and then build them onto your own land, that's where the value is. And Earth2 is saying that they want people to have that option to kind of expand on the marketplace that is within Earth2. It's going to be amazing.
Should they wish to, players, not Earth2, will then be able to sell properties along with the buildings they have diligently constructed over time. This approach is another clear representation of our long-term goal to design features which have focus to benefit the player first, not
NFTs.
Earth2. Each player looking to play the ecosim and earn inside of Earth2 will require a personal virtual space for their avatar to reside. These players will have the ability to lease spaces from building owners, or otherwise lease spaces based on an ecosim agreement with other players, who can provide virtual spaces in return for services. Once those services are completed by the leasing player, that player may conduct their own business to earn more within the ecosim. If smart, and the opportunity is available, they may even be able to conduct some of their own business while on ecosim agreement service work for other players. Players will be able to earn
Wow, this is a whole ecosystem that's happening in Earth2. They have a lot of things going on, and it's very exciting. Again, if they're able to implement it or not, we don't know, but just their ambition in it sounds like really cool.
Essence, resources, building blocks, and similar digital items for themselves by transporting, trading, buying, selling, intercepting, and more. We've known for some time that tiles on Earth2 were larger than 10 by 10 meters. The actual tile size of 19 by 19 meters allowed us the space we needed to develop an inter-building road system that would function, even in heavily purchased areas where every adjacent tile is actively owned by multiple players.
Interlinking road system.
We like to think of part of this additional space as kind of a community area for infrastructure that supports transportation and allows for better navigational access. Over time, players will have the option to select different building combinations, which will result in different shaped inter-building road systems. These systems have the core goal of enabling every building to be directly accessible by a vehicle if so desired. As cities grow, there will be new types of road infrastructure and traffic systems available,
Cool.
and these will be displayed in future Earth2 vlogs.
Looking forward
We
to
also
it.
plan to demonstrate how the construction of buildings on non-flat terrain, such as mountains or hilly areas, will be possible.
Ah, fantastic. Well, they haven't answered my question, but one of my burning questions is how you're going to manage to build on mountainous terrains. Let's go.
Outside of cities, Earth2 will of course also support a wide variety of population settlements, similar to what we have in Earth1. Low-density rural areas, as well as small towns with lower population, will be enabled as well, and can be connected to city centers, in some cases via hover roads. You'll note that some buildings in this view appear to occupy parts of the same tile. This is because we plan to support multiple options when placing certain groups of buildings, so players can merge their structures into different layouts for varying benefits. For example, a player could reduce the number of tiles required for some buildings when they're constructed together in a group, such as the 2 medium-sized houses spread over 6 tiles, as opposed to the 8 tiles that would normally be required to support those 2 houses.
Fair enough.
Although this is just a prototype using digital assets, the city scene shown here is fully dynamic and interactive. Lighting, shadows, and reflections are calculated and updated in real time and can represent day or night, and will support various weather conditions in the future.
Okay, but how interactive? I want to know how interactive. Like, can you go and touch billboards? Can you go and manipulate things? Like, I want to know.
Vehicles move smoothly through the scene, both on land and in the air.
Even if it comes close to GTA, online, that would be kind of fun, just roaming around in people's city. That would kind of just be fun.
Top billboards rotate to display advertising images, and the camera can be placed anywhere in the scene. It's been mentioned that ether is life, and essence is power. The control and use of ether will be a strategic decision for players in the future, as ether will have the ability to create and support life on Earth2.
Okay.
Most living things on Earth2 will have some form of connection back to ether.
Okay.
An example of ether creating life will first become apparent when players look to begin their civilian workforce. Ether will be required to form and breathe life into player-owned civilians and other biological life forms planned for future release inside of Earth2.
What does that mean? Ether is required to breathe life into your AI civilians or NPCs and other biological beings, animals.
But be careful. Players who create more life than what they can house or support will run the risk of having their civilians lured and converted to serve other players. In exciting news,
it's like those games where you have to attract people. Like, you have to build up your land, right? And then as your population increases, because people move from different areas, you get perks. And that would be interesting on how they implement that gameplay. Because if we go back to the tiles, and we'll go back to the tiles later on, you see that there's so many people that are bought right next to each other, right? And if their land is not enticing enough, like, will you waste ether in trying to build up a big population, but because you can't house them because you don't have the facilities, they will just move to a neighboring city, town, like someone else's tiles that they've bought and built up, and therefore will you have then lost your ether that you've used to build these NPCs? That's, again, pure speculation, but interesting.
Our team has been exploring with avatars moving around inside of these virtual city spaces in first and third person view. We are researching solutions.
Show me first person view. I want to see first person.
These avatars to navigate all over E2V1 in a multitude of ways, which will include entering buildings and navigating to different virtual room spaces inside of these buildings.
Oh, that is amazing. I'm sorry, all the haters out there can dislike this video as much as they want. All the ones that want to spread FUD. Look, at the end of the day, yes, it's all talk. It's all ambition. None of this is in existence yet. They haven't showed us how this all works yet. But nonetheless, you got to be excited about this. The fact that they've kind of in the background working on third person, first person view, being able to interact and go into these buildings, right? That's amazing. We got to listen to that again.
In first and third person view, we are researching solutions that will allow these avatars to navigate all.
Okay, they're researching solutions. They haven't actually got a solution. They haven't got anything in the back end. They're looking at ways to do this.
over E2v1 in a multitude of ways, which will include entering buildings and navigating to different virtual room spaces inside of these buildings, and much more. These avatars will be customizable. This marks the end of our first vlog series, consisting of vlogs 1 to 8. It's been a pleasure to share some of our progress with you via these vlogs.
Amazing.
The Earth2 team has an extremely busy schedule of building and delivering products throughout the second half of 2022, and we anticipate a gap between our next vlog series. The next significant footage we showcase of E2v1 will be released in close proximity to the Essence token trading live. This scheduled footage will introduce, show, and prove a number of things inside our vast and open digital Earth. It will be a great addition to build excitement toward the launch of the Earth2 Essence token, and a glimpse at some of the possibilities we're aiming to introduce on E2v1 and beyond. In the meantime, the Earth2 team will continue to work toward the release of E2v1 and supporting features to provide more utility to...
So everything here is kind of like cinematic, theatrical, and it's probably not actual gameplay. I'm pretty confident it's not actual gameplay. So you have to watch this and get excited with a grain of salt, right? Because we've all seen game trailers, but they're just theatrical trailers, and when the game releases, it's nothing like that. So... But I imagine that leading into August, leading into the launch of the token, the Essence token, they're just going to start pumping out and hyping it up and getting more excitement. Because as you imagine, the closer we get to launch of a token, they'd want a lot of people to buy into the token. You're going to see a massive spike. I don't know what exchange, how it's going to work, right? How they're going to release it onto market, but there's going to be a massive spike, and you'll probably see, people dumping the token within days. But nonetheless, exciting.
Essence and more things for players to do inside of Earth2. We thank you for joining us during this vlog series and look forward to showing you more exciting Earth2 developments in the near future. Until then, we thank you for your ongoing support. So keep safe and keep following to be part of each and every little step of the way as we build toward our end goals and the bigger picture of what will become Earth2.
Fantastic. Another great vlog. All right, so let's jump back into Earth2. Like I said, as you can see there, like, holy cow, like, so random. Like, look at this. I don't know who bought this and what they were trying to do, but let's choose another one. Okay, so imagine this person here just struggles to build a decent city, right? I wonder, is it the same person? Canada Land Discord. Okay, Canada Land. He's bought that. Okay, so it's one person at least, which is good. So imagine this person didn't build a very good city, or they built too many. Their resources can't sustain the amount of people that they have. So the people migrate to cashback code Mario. See, and then because everyone is so interconnected, so close to each other, like warring factions and tribes, it's just going to be really interesting on how they implement that gameplay, the warring gameplay, the factions gameplay, and how that impacts resources and land battles and everything else. I at one point, let's see, Herd and McDonald Island. At one point, I imagined all I wanted to do, right? I bought a bunch of land in Herd and McDonald Island, and all I wanted to do was just leave it there, right? I just wanted to leave it there, pristine, untouched land, just really not do anything, because I just wanted to roam around in this picturesque place, not have to deal with the dramas of mankind. And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Just unadulterated beauty. So I was one of the first people to buy in Herd McDonald Island. And then slowly people bought around me. So that's all that Australian landmass there. That's mine. And I just wanted to just have it as pristine. I don't even know what that actually looks like in satellite, whether that's rocky mountainous areas or whatever. So let's just take a look at EcoSim. What resources can we see? To be determined. Okay, we don't know. So that's me, Earthbound YouTube. Initially, that was my channel. But yeah, to be determined. All right. What else can we? Hollow buildings, satellite. Okay, we can switch to satellite. This will be good. Hopefully, it will show me what Herd and McDonald Island actually looks like. Is it going to do it? Is it rendering? Herd and McDonald Island is so small. Okay, you can't actually even see a satellite view on it. Heat maps. Heat map shows the population density of different areas. And as you can see here, why is this so dense and there's like this sparse land? Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of like a, let's turn the music back on. Chilled out session exploring everything happening in Earth2 at the moment. Alright, so yeah, heat maps. Let's go to insights. Okay, so this is my land. Ooh, Krabi's gone up quite a bit. Jeez. So this is tier 2, not even tier 1, tier 2. Krabi, I bought 104 tiles for $14, and now market value is 156. Obviously, you know, I wouldn't even be able to sell it for that much, but I bought a whole island for myself. So when tier 2 released, everything was reverted back to like 10 cents or cheap as chips. And I decided, well, now I can afford it. I just want to buy my own island. So I ended up buying this whole Krabi island because I have been to Krabi in good old Thailand. Love it. And I don't know, can we see resources yet? I'm not sure how it all works. So if I do that and click on that. Okay, nope. There's a way that I saw resources. So how do I go back and see resources? Oh, here, resources all coming soon. So these are all of my random lands. See, so I've slotted some jewels. I have no idea what this all means. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what this all means. All I know is I've slotted stuff in. But I want to know how I see my resources. How does that work? Alright, let's just go to all these random places. Sikasa resource. At one point there was this leak, and the good old people from Dorkslayer found something, and you could see these blue dots on the land masses, and we believed at that point that they meant that there was some kind of resource, and there was a chart talking about what resources it held. And yeah, I bought a whole bunch thinking that was, oh, there's gold there or there's something there. But yeah, you just kind of didn't know. Probably info. You can't actually, yeah, so you can't actually see resources yet. Or if you can, please somebody tell me how you look at the resources. Alright, let's just go here. Resources. Is everything to be determined, I imagine? Is there a faster way? Please, someone tell me. if there's a faster way to see resources. And net essence, what does that even mean? I have no idea. So as you can tell, even though I was one of the first ones to make YouTube videos on this, I have not kept up to date with it, and I have no idea what is happening. Okay. Alright. Let's take a look at Bidding Hub and see what that is about. Oh, 55 minutes already this video. Alright. I'm just going to end it there. I'm just going to end it there because I've probably talked enough. But yeah, that's what's happening with Earth2 at the moment. So for anyone that's interested in Earth2, taking a look at it, see what's happening, you can. Okay? I haven't been up to date. I look forward to new releases, new announcements, but excited for August, which is literally next month, and getting some updates on the token release in the bear market. It is what it is, guys. Until next chilled out video, thank you for hanging with me. If you made it this far, then woof, kudos to you. I'll see you in the next chill out session. Bye.